ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
And so I think for the UAE, we're absolutely blessed. We're in a fantastic country that has just had such visionary leaders to help grow a country.
Hello everyone, welcome back again here in Pearls of Union on Sama Al Ain TV. Today, the building of team is not easy at all, and having a good vision, it's really important. Today we have Mr. Oliver to share his personal journey with us here in Pearls of Union. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you so much for the invite today.
So today, I think before we start the beginning of our episode, it's so important to know how did you start your journey and who is the people who really supported you in all this journey?
For myself, I probably followed a non-traditional journey within to get into executive search. So I actually started my career as a mechanical engineer, as a civil servant for the Ministry of Defence in the UK. So I literally was working in a room with no windows, building circuits that would be used on submarines. And while very rewarding, I missed the commercial and people interaction side. And so there came a point where I said, I no longer want to be in this journey with the Ministry of Defence, and that's when I got into executive search. So I moved from Dorset, where I was originally born in the UK, up to London, and then for around 5 years worked in executive search within London. I then moved out to Dubai around 20 years ago now. And then since I've been here, I then decided to also work in-house for organizations as well. So I headed up internal recruitment functions for Alpha Tame, BP, the oil and gas major, and also Gulf Tainer, the terminal operator in Sharjah. So I think there were really important experiences to sort of round off my career. So I understood how businesses operated because I'd started in that non-traditional route, and I think that really helped shape the kind of the journey that we've gone on to get to where we are today. So
I think it's so important to mention JOH partners. So can you just tell us how it begins?
So in terms of JOH partners, so I joined the organization specifically to help grow the recruitment side of the business. So prior to me joining, we had focused just on HR consulting. So when I joined, I was brought in to help us expand that further. So we came in, we've grown out a team, we've looked at, from a growth perspective, what are the key markets that we want to operate in. So we predominantly recruit within the Middle East and Africa markets. That's a combination of international relocations, that's moving expatriates or national hires within the region as well, within your maritime logistics, group holding companies, financial institutions, private equity businesses, and so on. And going back to one of the questions you asked earlier, kind of who's kind of shaped some of our learnings and been a key part of kind of what's got me to where we are today. I think when you go for your career, there are many different people that shape your learnings. And I think, when you start off, it is obviously your parents. So at the start of everything, it is, the grounding that your parents give you in terms of that good ethos. And I think I'm always grateful to them for that. But then, of course, over time, you're going into organizations, you're working with colleagues, you're working with peers. And everyone thinks working with a great manager is the most important learning. I actually think some of my best learnings came from working with managers who weren't the best manager.
Yeah, really.
Because how they would treat their staff and how they would treat, others around them that I didn't think was the best practice. I made sure that when I worked at JOH Partners, that we didn't replicate any of those things. So I think we've always tried to say authenticity, listening, and the communication side. They're the really important things that help a business grow, and I think also build that strong team ethos. And again, when we work with our clients, they're the key pillars of what we want to deliver to our clients on those aspects as well.
So now, because of the many companies who are in the top talent sector, what is the things which you think anyone can face in this sector?
Yeah, so I think in terms of the challenge that you'll find in the UAE and in the wider Middle East market is there's a high demand for strong talent. And how does a business stand out? And I think that needs to come from their EVP ultimately. So their employee value proposition. So the stronger that a client understands what is their mission and vision, then they have a much clearer story to market. They can then, the clients that communicate that best with us, we're able to represent them better to attract that active and passive talent. Because obviously our role is to go to the market. We conduct extensive market maps. We provide them with a lot of data points to help them try and remove that unconscious bias in their hiring. And so to achieve all these points, if a business understands we are currently here and we want to get to there, that's the really key bit. So attracting a candidate from a direct competitor and just saying to them, we're going to pay you 10%, 15% more salary, that sometimes works, but that's not a real long-term growth for a business. Ultimately, the diversity of thought process, the diversity of shortlist is what really helps a business stand out, because recruitment is not your traditional B2B business. You have a candidate as well. So you need to understand a client's vision and mission, and then a candidate's vision as well, because ultimately a candidate might be just focused on developing themselves through further learning. They might be focused on obviously a better salary for a particular reason to do with the family. It might be they want to experience new products or services. And so you need to understand all those elements to really help attract that best talent. So the clients that can clearly communicate these elements will stand out much more, and then they'll have a more diverse workforce as well. So diversity in terms of gender, nationality, backgrounds, and that's where your aha moments come from. That's where your staff giving that extra 10% really make a difference, and customers feel that. So businesses that are able to bring these elements together, they will outperform their competitors because they are doing something different. And so businesses that have that vision, that can share that with us and the candidate, we can then best support them in terms of the processes that we have to then deliver them that talent that really makes a difference and helps that business grow further.
As the strong need of the strong leadership, what is the opportunities which you see in the market?
There's a couple of big things here. So from JOH Partners standpoint, we not only just do executive search, we offer a total talent solution. So we've developed our own in-house proprietary software. So we have a product called Board Pulse, which is specifically around succession planning, retention risk analysis, comp and bends analysis, individual development programs for candidates. So this product was specifically made to help businesses retain and develop their existing talent. We then have our JOH Insights product, which is around psychometrics to enable businesses when they're hiring themselves to have more informed decisions and culture fit within candidates coming in. So in terms of the challenge in the market, I think is around finding that talent that understands how they are going to make that difference.
Sure, yes.
Because again, there is, the world is changing, recruitment is changing, business is changing. And so it's not about just hiring skills from today, it's where is your business going to and how ultimately can you do that? And so that's from JOH Partners standpoint, where we said, let's not just help a client with finding a CV, let's put the human back into human capital here. And so by doing that, it's looking at how do we help you retain your staff? How do we help you hire the best staff yourselves? And then when you need us, can we give you data? Can we give you insights? Can we allow you to remove that bias in hiring so that that person's going to stay with you longer? And again, like a key stat that I'm very proud that we have is like 96% of the staff that we're hiring for our clients, they're with them 3+ years later. And again, that all comes down to if you find the right person who culturally fits a business and buys into the vision and the mission,
Yes.
they will stay longer, they'll be more rewarded. And then that is ultimately what drives better leadership and better outcomes for businesses.
So let's talk a little bit about the vision. What's the future plan of JOH?
I think when we go back to mentioning those two products, the Board Pulse, the Insights, those two products we've created in the last sort of 6 months. So we ultimately want to continue growing those. There's been great reception so far from clients. Of course, we want to keep growing our team. And I think in very deliberately, we look at that methodical growth, i.e. we don't hire and fire like we don't want our clients to. Our staff stay with us a long time because we've made sure we've empowered the team and we've rewarded them all accordingly. So we looked at all our processes and said, how do we effectively deliver that best service? And so we don't operate as a traditional 360-degree recruitment firm where one recruiter does everything. We work as a team ethos. So each member has a skill that's best suited to them. So they get more rewards in terms of career development, and then they get more rewards in terms of bonuses attached to that. So for us, 2026 is continuing to grow the services that we're offering to the clients. So we're going to be adding more modules into the products that we've got. The team, we've just hired somebody new literally this week. So again, that's good for us in terms of additional from there. But yeah, 2026 has started very well. And yeah, let's let it may long continue.
What will be your advice to a younger professional who would like to see their career in this sector?
I think the best advice for an individual is around two things, because recruitment, they may want to go down the path of recruitment or human capital. So in agency recruitment, they may want to go in-house recruitment, they may want to go down being a HR professional. Do they want to be a generalist HR professional? Do they want to be a specialist maybe within learning and development, compensation benefits, talent management, etc.? And so the advice really is taking that time initially to self-reflect, because I think constantly people need to continue to develop. So I myself am continually doing new courses. We're continually looking at new processes and software to how do we give a better service to our clients, but candidates need to do that as well. So if you feel you have a passion for human capital, it may not be recruitment, it may be HR, it may be compensation benefits, as we said. So you need to, I think, take that time, speak to people in the industry, speak to maybe mentors, go to networking events and understand what are the things that motivate you the most. Because again, the difference of a job of executive search versus in-house recruitment, they're very different, but you are doing recruitment. So again, they're better suited to different people's personalities. So I think the biggest thing for people wanting to be in this sector is if you understand what your passions and drivers are, then you can better position yourself. And I myself, I started in a different career and I understood, and then I pivoted, and then I've been now doing this for 25+ years. So it's not finding a job and just getting into it. It's finding the right company again. So it's, do you understand what your values are? Finding a company that has those values as well, because if they do, then you'll get more out of that job. You will learn more. And so it's the self-reflection piece. I think that's the biggest element, because people are in a rush to get into something and give it a try. While that's good, you need to reflect, am I in the right opportunity? Am I getting the best out of this? Am I happy with what I do? I'm married, I've got 2 kids. My kids ask me, what do you do for a job, Dad? And ultimately explaining to them what we do, why we do it, the fact that we're really passionate about actually helping people. And again, the phrase, putting the human back into human capital, that's the important part. So yeah, my advice is...
We just forgot to mention a thing maybe you did not focus. Who's the people who supported you throughout your journey?
Yeah, so obviously we mentioned a little bit around obviously parents at the start, of course, then into obviously peers that you would have in your companies as you work. As I mentioned, learning from bad bosses actually was a really big thing. Yeah, exactly. But I think now in this stage of my life, it is mentors, so people in competitors that we will regularly meet up with and have conversations. So I think those support networks are really important, and of course your family life. So again, my wife, my children, and again, wanting to be a role model for them and support them and help them grow. So I think it's not just one person. So I think sometimes people get fixated on what is that one aha moment of that one person. I think it's having that total holistic view of what does each person help me with and how do I help them? And I think that empathy piece and listening really helps. And then that's what you translate and bring into running a business, because then that's how you develop your team. That's how you make their lives better as well. So, yeah.
And now we would like to give a thank you message for the UAE leaders.
And so I think for the UAE, we're absolutely blessed. We're in a fantastic country that has just had such visionary leaders to help grow a country. And so I feel, especially with human capital, that we're effectively the custodians of helping that vision grow. So it's not just helping a client grow their business, but it's helping get the right people to come to the UAE to help the UAE continue to grow and try new things. It is a country which has Burj Khalifa. It's a country that has built Emirates, built DP World. And I think all of these elements have come from trying new ideas and being innovative in that process. So that's something which I think is really, really important. So from a human capital perspective, it is really key that we're helping bring the right people into the country and help the right companies and clients grow their business to help the UAE as a whole continue to grow that vision. So yeah, for me, it's been a fantastic 20 years here so far, and I hope that there's 20 more years to come at least.
And that brings us to the end of conversation today with Mr. Oliver. He has shared with us his personal experience and the story behind his company. Thank you, Mr. Oliver.
Thank you very much.